is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. How about you? Hope everyone has had a very safe and a blessed week. Put your seatbelts on, strap yourself in. We're going somewhere today. Our scripture text is going to be coming from Psalms, the 30th division, the 5th verse, part B. Psalms, the 30th division, the 5th verse, part B. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. I told y'all a while back, anytime you hear the word but, something get ready to change. You might be going through a little something now, but if you just hold on, the morning is coming. The night won't last forever. Every storm run out of rain, okay? I want to talk to a few people today and see if we can encourage you to hold on and don't quit, because nothing that you're going through right now, it's not permanent. It came to pass. It came to pass. I want to use for a subject on today. Stay away, listen to me good, y'all listen good. Stay away from human stumbling blocks. Stay away from human stumbling blocks. I'm talking about people who try to hurt other people, that'll go out their way to hinder other people from living up to their fullest potential or achieving the things that they set out to do in life. And not only hinder, but if they can stop you in their tracks. I'm talking about low down, dirty, good for nothing folks. And I'm not going to take it back, because that's exactly what they are. You need to stay away from them type of people. A lot of y'all crying and you're hurt, you're broken, and it's all because of the people that you choose to affiliate with. Stay away from human stumbling blocks. They don't mean you no good. Why in the round world would you keep swimming the ocean for somebody who won't cross the street for you? Come on now, come on, since y'all kick in and tell us something wrong with that picture. These people are driven by hatred. They're driven by jealousy. They're driven by prejudice. They're driven by ignorance and 101 other things that they are driven by. And they are up to no good. Everybody on the sound of my voice, I want you to listen good. Stay away from human stumbling blocks. One day last week, I was outside, me and my big old double wide dog, and I looked down on the ground and I saw this big old fat ugly caterpillar. Every worm I see is like, I hate worms with a passion. And it's not but one thing I hate worse than worms, that's a snake. But I saw this big old fat ugly caterpillar, and you know, as the Lord was giving me this message, that caterpillar came back to my mind. You know, all of us, we're just like that caterpillar. See, you look at that caterpillar, I looked at that caterpillar, that's to say, and all I saw was a big old fat, ugly, nasty looking worm. But if life lasts and death passes and that caterpillar lives, he's going to go through what is called a metamorphosis. He's going to transform from a big fat ugly caterpillar into one of those beautiful colorful butterflies you ever want to see. It's called a metamorphosis. It's when you transform from one form to another form. Now, that caterpillar didn't go out and buy no ink. He didn't go out and buy no colors or crayons or paint. Everything he needed inside of him to be that colorful, beautiful butterfly, God created him with it already in him. And each and every one of us are that way. God have a call and a divine purpose for each and every one of us. And when you came into this world, Jeremiah 1:5 say, when he formed you in your mother's womb, he had already put everything that you need in you to rise to your highest potential. That's why you have to beware of human stumbling blocks, because some of the people that you affiliate with, they'll keep in your face, and they like you, they love you, and all that good stuff until they no longer have a purpose for you. So you need to beware, because those are human stumbling blocks. You can't see it. Maybe you have heard negative comments and people have talked down to you all your life, and when you look in the mirror, you can't see it. But you're just like that butterfly. You are God's masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. Honey, God didn't make no mistakes, okay? And He didn't make no junk. In spite of what somebody may have programmed you in the battlefield of your mind to believe, if it's contrary to anything other than what God said about you, let me go on record saying the devil is a lie, okay? The devil is a lie, and you need to know this. It was a man that went to a garage sale, and he saw this picture, and he really liked the picture. And they didn't want me $2 for it. He said, I might as well get it. He had a spot on the wall of his garage. He said, I don't want to hang it in my house. The only thing that was wrong with the picture is the frame was cracked. The frame was cracked, so it devalued the picture. It took away from the value of the picture. And although the picture was a nice picture, he didn't think it was nice enough to put in his home because of the fact that the frame was cracked. And see, that's how a lot of people look at you. They look at your frame. And when I say your frame, I'm talking about your situation. I'm talking about your status or position in life. They'll look at you and say, well, he didn't finish school, or she got pregnant and dropped out of school, she or he from the wrong side of the track, or they came from you heard about that so-and-so family, that they came from the wrong family. They're looking at the frame. They're looking at, see, 1 Samuel 16:7 said, man, look at the outward appearance, but God look on the inside. This man that bought this picture and hung it in his garage, one day he died. And after his death, his children went into his garage when they were getting all his things together, and they decided they'd take that picture down, that old picture down off the wall. In the process of removing the picture, they dropped it. And when they dropped it, they recognized that the picture in front was actually sealing a picture that the frame was holding in place behind the picture. In other words, it wasn't one picture, it was 2 pictures, but one was concealed. It was on the inside, you couldn't see it. The picture didn't cost but $2. But when they had the other picture appraised, they found out that it was a painting that a millionaire had bought years ago, and it was worth $14 million. And see, that's the same way you are. You just like that picture. People looking on the outside, they're looking at your frame. They can't see your value. And so they will say things and do things and look down at you. And if you listen to them type of people, you'll never rise above. You'll never, that caterpillar will never have wings if you listen to human stumbling blocks. Today, we're going to look at a couple of examples from the Bible, but before we do that, people, as I say, will do you the same way. They look at you and devalue you because of something they might know about you. And a lot of times you have some people so stupid that they'll judge you according to what they heard. Half of what you see and none of what you hear, okay? But they'll judge you. I wonder how many people passed this homeless man that was on the street and looked down at him. They might have said, well, he need a bath, or I wonder if he got a disease, or, people think all kind of stuff. I bet he be begging folks. And, some people are just cruel. And everybody, it's a Christian reach down to help you up, but the world will look down at you and kick you to the curb. And I wonder how many people passed that homeless man and just looked at him and felt like he wasn't worth a flip. He ain't good for nothing out here living on the streets. They just don't even know why God created. You have people that think like that. But little did they know that man will go on to produce some blockbuster movies, own his own filming studio, and become a millionaire. His name is Tyler Perry. But nobody looked at Tyler Perry when he was homeless on the street. Oh, they all look up to him now. And see how the tables are turned. Never judge a person while they're in the process. See, human stumbling blocks, people that cause you to stumble and miss reaching your highest potential, they have a tendency of judging you while you still in the process. You ever heard the song, please be patient with me? God is not through with me yet. But a lot of people won't. They want to play God. And the thing that's so bad about people like that, they'll talk about you, but if you look in their closet, they have enough skeletons in their closet to rebuild the World Trade Center. Come on now. Then you think about, in 1919, it was a man who worked for the Kansas City Sun newspaper. I started the world best. that have some of his, I ain't gonna tell you, but anyway, he worked for the Kansas City Sun in 1919. They fired him. He lost his job. They fired him, they said, because he don't have no imagination. He don't have no good ideals. But have you ever heard of Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Daffy Duck, Donald Duck? Have you ever seen Disneyland? I'm talking about Walt Disney. But they looked at him, they said, this man didn't have no imagination, no good ideas. The man a billionaire when he died or more. How in the round world can anybody think up Disneyland? Come on now, and not have no imagination. His imagination was off the hook. Man, look on the outside. Outside, they judge you from what they see. But God, look at the heart, and I pray, God, that he's not like man. We ought to be glad that God's not like man. It was another man who walked this earth, and everywhere he did, Acts 10:38 say he went about doing good. Everywhere he went, he healed people, opened blinded eyes, raised the dead. But the Bible said in John 1:11, he came to his own and they received him not. Even one of his closest followers set him up to hang on the cross. His name was Jesus. Although man couldn't then, and many can't see now to their own destruction, the value of Jesus and the value of having a relationship with him. Nevertheless, Philippians 2 said God has given him a name that's above every name, is highly exalting him, and given him a name above every name, that at the name of Jesus every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord, to the glory of God. Come on now, don't judge from the outside, and stay away from human stumbling blocks who do. While you're in the process, you're going to have to kill a lamb. You're going to have to cross the Red Sea. You're going to have to go in the fiery furnace. In other words, while you in this process, while you on your way to being what God put you to be, it's not going to be uphill with the wind at your back. It's all hell going to break loose and the bottom going to fall out, because Satan's job is to steal, kill, and destroy, and he's going to do everything he can along with his children to keep you from reaching your potential. So you need to beware of those human stumbling blocks, as Jesus told the religious leaders in John 8:44. You are of your stinking father, the devil, and the lust of your stinking father you will do. He was a liar and a murderer from the beginning. And a murderer don't necessarily have to be someone to pull a gun and shoot you. A lot of people can take that pie hole, and it can take a man 30 years to build a good reputation, and they can know one thing he did way on back in 1801, and with that power, with that mouth, with that long tongue, tear down everything that he had built. The mouth is one of the most deadly murder weapons that it is. Death and life. Proverbs 18:21 say death and life is in the power of the tongue. We have the power to speak blessings or curses over people. We have the power in our mouth to speak life or death, not only over people, but over your circumstances. And see, this is something y'all better hear me up in here today. This is something you need to remember when the human stumbling blocks come around and start planting them negative seeds of doubt in the battlefield of your mind. You need to uproot every last one of them boogers with the word of God. You know, when they tell you that you can't, you need to remember what God said, that I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Well, it don't look like you're going to never get no better. And my God, with his stripes I am healed. My God will restore my health and heal every wound. Well, she ain't going to never have nothing going to be broke. And my God shall supply all my needs. See, you need to do like Jesus did. You need to do them human stumbling blocks like Jesus did the devil when he had fasted 40 days and came out of the wilderness, and the devil turned these stones into bread. Know that he was hungry. These human stumbling blocks sent by the devil go show up and hit you right where you're weak at. You think God watch over you, you mighty right. But you better know the devil watching over you too. And he'll dispatch them evil children to hit you right where you're weak at. Why? They usually show up just about the time God getting ready to bless you. You ever have everything in order and then one thing happen and everything go wrong? That's Satan coming to steal, kill, and destroy. At any rate, in the process, you're going to have to go through something. That's why it's called a process. but you hold to God's unchanging hand. You stay on the potter's wheel. You keep looking to Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith, and you're going to make it. I think about when they were in the ship, Jesus and his disciple. Jesus, when the back of the ship, went to sleep. But before he went to sleep, he said, let us go over to the other side. A hurricane came. A hurricane like they had never seen. The boat was filled with water. They were scared half to death. Jesus back there sleeping like a newborn baby in his mama's arm. And so they went back, I believe it was Peter, and went back and said, Lord, carest not that we perish, don't you care? We must get killed. But wait a minute, Jesus said, let us go to the other side. If you read on, you'll see, and they made it to the other side. Whatever the Lord say, I don't care. See, that's what we get messed up at. We take our eyes off the word of God and start listening to what the naysayers and the human stumbling block. You better forget it. When these people come telling you this poison, don't listen to that. You remember what Jesus said. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word proceed out of the mouth of God. So anything they telling you about you or your situation that don't line up with the word of God, be a fool and believe it, okay? Be wise and hold on to the word of God, because it won't return void. It's going to do just what the Lord said. And if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. We want to look at a couple people today. A lot of things that are meant to destroy us. The human stumbling blocks, believe. I'm going to say it again. God will use them very things. We're going to see this. We're supposed to look at this real quick. The very things that people use or do to destroy you, to bring you down, God will use them to set you up. Let me say that again, because I don't think y'all heard me over in Africa. The very thing that low down, dirty, human stumbling blocks will use to destroy your life, God will use the same things that they use against you to set you up. If you hold on to God, you're not going down. That's why Micah 7:8 said, rejoice not, O my enemy. Don't get happy too quick, okay? Don't rejoice not, O my enemy, when I fall. When I sit in the darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Now let me say it the way the Bible said. Rejoice not, O my enemy, when I fall, for I shall arise. When I sit in the darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Because the God I serve have the power to take everything that meant for evil for me and work it out for my good. And just in case you didn't know, he told us in Romans 8:28 that all things, not some things, but all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Are you operating in his purpose? Is it thy will be done or my will be done? See, that's a determining factor. Sometimes we don't need no human stumbling block. We can become our own human stumbling blocks if we don't watch our step, let me put it that way, and be nice about it. Don't expect others to understand or appreciate your journey either, okay? They don't understand why you act the way you do. And they don't appreciate it. And it don't give you the right to act the wrong way because you've been through something. You rise above it. No, God is the one that brought you through. And he's the one going to carry you to the end. Philippians 1:6 said, he who has begun a good work in you will finish that work. He going to finish what he started. But you got to stay on the potter's wheel. I want to look real quick at Jabez. I know y'all familiar in 1 Chronicles, the 4th chapter, the prayer of Jabez. When you first begin at the first verse in the 4th chapter, the first Chronicles, the 4th chapter, the very first verse, it gives a lineage of all these people that came from this tribe, the tribe of Judah. Now understand, Judah means praise. When you praise, it's because you have joy. Joy and happiness is not something that comes from outside of you. Because if it comes from outside of you, it can leave. But if it comes from inside of you, see, joy is an inside thing. It's not something that the world, you ever heard the song, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, and the world can't take it away? That's true. If your joy comes from the world can take it. But when that joy comes from inside, Jabez came from a tribe named called Judah, which means joy, the same tribe, in fact, that Jesus' lineage came through. Listen to this. And Jabez was more honorable man than his brethren, and his mother mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I have bore him in sorrow. His mother was a human stumbling block. His name, boy in sorrow. That's something that happened to her. What did that baby have to do with that? Why you want to stick a tag on that baby? Can't you see Jabez when he went to school? His name means sorrow. I don't know, because she couldn't take care of him, or something bad happened. I don't know what it was, but one thing I do know, the baby was innocent, didn't have anything to do with it. And she gave him a name where other little children, they can hear, come on, sorry Jabez. Oh, sorry Jabez. Y'all know children are very honest and they are very cruel. If you want to know the truth about something, ask the little child. Is my dress ugly? Sure will. I tell you the truth. Am I too fat? You sure will. You want to know the truth? Don't ask your wife. Don't ask your husband. Ask the little child. They'll tell you the truth. But you know what? Can you imagine him going through life with that name tag on it? People, human stumbling blocks would do you the same way. They'll put tags on you. And you know what? Everybody else recognizes that tag because that's your outside dressing. They can't see your heart. They can't see that hidden potential that's within you. And neither will you if you listen to those negative tags. If you say, well, I'm not going to date. I mean, you program a child like that. A child can hear your daddy wasn't no good, you're not going to be no good. They grow up hearing that every other day. You know what? They grow up, they don't even try. That might have been somebody with a cure for cancer or anything. Might have been a real president, not some knockoff like we have now, but a real president who really loved the people, would have made a difference for the whole world. But they never reached their potential because of a human stumbling block. And what's really bad is when it's a parent. Some of y'all parents need to snot whooped out of you, okay? I hear some people in the store, the way they talk to their children, y'all be ashamed of yourself out in the round world. Do you look in the mirror? That's the child that you brought into the world. You ought to be encouraging that child to rise up to the fullest potential, not telling him what he can't do. When he fails, you don't kick him while he's down. You tell that child, him or her, what they need to get up. That's okay, you didn't make it this time, but mama gonna help you, daddy gonna help you, and you gonna make it the next time, baby. Just keep trying. You know what? So many people that are famous right now for doing great things felt the man that invented the light. The reason we have light right now is because he didn't quit. It was over 1,000 times that he failed before he got the light bulb right. Suppose he had a human stumbling block around telling him, we'd be still sitting in the darkness. Come on, y'all. But anyway, Jabez knew what to do. It said Jabez called on the God of Israel. In other words, he called on the Lord. That's your answer right there. See, you know what y'all do? Y'all get on that old telephone and you call this one and you call that one, and I'm going to call my dog. And they see your number come over to call ID. They don't want to talk to you. No way. They might pick up, might not. The only reason why they pick up because they probably still need something from you. Y'all better wake up. Everybody here ain't none of your friends, okay? But you know what? They have more problems than you do. Do you honestly think they want to hear what's wrong in your life? And if they do, 99% of the time, it's just so they have something to gossip about. You need to tell Jesus all about it. Jesus is the only one who can fix what's wrong in our life and fix it right. And you won't have to worry about it being on the 6 o'clock news. Jesus said, Jeremiah 33:3 said, call unto me, not your next door neighbor, not your buddy, not your girlfriend. Call unto me, call unto the Lord, and I will answer, and I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you great and mighty things that you know not of. You in a mess, your back up against the wall. Man can't help you. His back up against the wall too. That's why he's hanging on to you, trying to get what they can get from you. Because they need the same Jesus you do. That's why, you know, I know a lot of people who know me personally know I'm an isolated, solitary person. I think for years, I don't know how many years, as far as I can remember, you can't count 5 people that have been to my house. It's not because I'm antisocial, but it's because I know what people are about. And I don't like a bunch of confusion. And I don't like a whole lot of negatives. And my business is between me and God, not between me and man. So I don't call him something wrong. I don't call man. I call the one who can fix it. And see, your life will change dramatically if you stop calling on the human stumbling block in the first place. You calling, most of the people you calling, you think they wish you well and they don't. They just there until they use you up and then they through. Y'all better wake up. The human stumbling block is the reason why some of y'all would never rise above. You will always be a caterpillar. You'll never turn into the butterfly that God created you to be, because you're connected to a source that's weighing you down. And Paul told us in Hebrews 12, if he is in fact the Hebrew writer, and I'm fully persuaded he is, because no one else had the knowledge to write Hebrews at that time but Paul. But nevertheless, he told us to lay aside every weight. Drop it like it's hot. Lay aside every weight, every sin, and run with patience the race that is set before us. We're running for our eternal soul. But on this journey, in this process, it don't have to be miserable, but you can have people come along and you can't even run. Man, you're sitting on the sideline and you're supposed to be running victoriously to the end of the goal. You can't do it. Why? Because you got dead weight. A lot of people, I'm sorry to say, that's all they is, a dead weight. And as long as you hold on to it, you're not gonna never be happy. And some of them, you know, they don't want your marriage to work, and they gonna tell you anything they think that you might want to hear. You think they giving you good advice? They know if you do that, your husband gonna knock your brains out, or your wife gonna pack up and leave. They know, and they playing you like that. They'll do your children the same way. You see your children, how bad do it hurt you when you see your children hook up with somebody that you know don't mean your child no good, that you know gonna lead them down a path that's gonna mess their life up. And how hard is that for a parent to sit back and see that? But let me ask you something else. How hard do you think it is for God, who loved his children so much that he sent his son in order for us to be his children down the cross, and he see us going the wrong way, and he doing everything through the Spirit to turn us the right way, and we boom, 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 bound and determined to go head first into the mountain. How bad you think it? No wonder John 11:35 said Jesus wept. He had a reason to weep. He died for people that sat on destruction, sat on going to hell, constantly connected with human stumbling blocks. No, I don't want to go hear this one talking about Jesus. I don't want to hear about no Jesus. When you get to hell, that's all you're going to want to hear. But it's going to be too late. Come on now. And anybody not feeding into your spirit, anybody, come on, girl, let's go down to the bar and have a drink. You'll feel all right and make you feel better. You're going to feel better in hell too. I guess you better think about what you're doing. That's not your friend. Anybody who invites you into their sin separate us from God. You better hear me. Sin separate us from God. Sin separate us from God. Sin separate us from God. Isaiah 59:2. That means you shut out of heaven and sealed in the hell for all eternity. And that's not your friend. That friend, come on, hit this and make you feel better. And then 6 months later, you done sold everything you have because you need another hit. You get that high and you can't never get it back. That wasn't your friend. That's the worst enemy you can have. That's a human stumbling block that came to make sure that you stay on the ground crawling like a caterpillar. The Lord compared his children to eagles. It will mount up with wings as eagles. Isaiah 41. But you know what? We down here pecking corn with the chicken. Why? Because we connected to human stumbling block. Little chicken looking up at the eagle soar, wishing, oh, how I wish I was an eagle. It was an eagle all the time. It was an eagle all the time. But because of human stumbling blocks, we are the same way. We'll never reach our full potential. Some people, you need to lay aside every weight. And if you're living in sin, God's not going to bless no mess. That's not no cute saying. You need to drop it like it's hot. You need to let it go. Maybe it's a sin you're struggling with. You're trying to let go. See, everybody bound don't want to be bound. But the Lord has set you free. Whom the Son make free and free indeed. Stop calling people. Leave folks alone. Why y'all think I'm happy? Come hell or high water, I'm still happy. Because I'm not looking at no man. I'm depending on the Lord. And I can go on record saying he ain't failed me yet. I got my first time for him to fail me in my whole years. No woman don't tell her age, you don't know. But he ain't gonna fail you. Everybody else will. And when their purpose in your life is over, they'll discard you just like Satan do. Beware. Beware of human stumbling blocks. There was another person I really wanted to talk to you about, but I'm out of time. Her name was Hannah. And they made fun of Hannah because she couldn't have children. At that time, in that era, if you didn't have no children, you were a disgrace. But Hannah knew, just like Jabez, what to do, to call on the Lord. Not only did God bless her to have a son, who was the first prophet, the last judge of Israel, who anointed King David as king, but he blessed her to have 7 children all together. But everybody laughed at her, made fun of her because she couldn't have no children. See, whatever wrong in your life, as I close, what I'm telling you, you need to do like Hannah did, honey. You need to do like Jabez and call on the name of the Lord. Put your phone down, cut it off. Stop calling people. They don't want to be bothered with you, even if they nice. They got something else on their mind they want to be doing while they listening to your problem. Call on the one who loves you so much that he laid his life down for you. He the only one can fix it. I don't care what's wrong. Is your health bad? He's the healer. Is your heart broken? He's the comforter. Is your marriage or your relationship on the rock? He said, I'm the one who me in a broken heart. It don't make no difference. Is your money funny, your change strange, and your credit won't get it? He's the one who supplies. He on the hill, the cattle on 1,000 hills. He on the hill, the valley, the sun, the moon, the light, the sea, the ocean. He on it all. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness of the world, and everything therein. Come on now. He got a city that he built for you to come home in, that made of pure gold, not paved, but made of pure gold. He's not a welfare. What you call a man for? Because you don't trust the Lord, and you're going to always be a caterpillar. I'm telling y'all, beware of the human stumbling blocks. Drop them like it's hot. Lay aside that weight. Lay aside that weight. That everything sin that separates you from God. Yes, weeping may endure for a night. But if you hold on to Jesus, I promise you, the morning is coming. We hope you're blessed by the word on the day. Look forward to being with you again on next week, Lord willing. Have a safe and a very blessed week. God bless you.